What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. And I'm actually really excited for this comic. This is the Uncanny X-Men issue number 19 with a surprise appearance from Deadpool and Outlaw. And if we're being completely honest, issue number 18, it just wasn't it. So I was really skeptical getting into issue number 19, but man, this one really did bring it. Now the story's gonna pick us up at a diner, not far from what was known as Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. We have Dr. Ellis and her head of security. They've stopped in at this diner just to get a quick bite to eat, maybe a cup of coffee. And even though our young mutant girl insists that she was about to close, Dr. Ellis and the others, they insist that they're gonna sit down, they're gonna have a quick bite, a quick cup of coffee, and then they'll be out of their hair. Now, when they go to sit down, the girl comes over, pours their coffee, and we see that she's shaking. She puts up the mutant hand signal. Of course, Dr. Ellis and the others, they think nothing of it, or they completely ignore it. As the doctor and the head of security, they get up and they walk out. Captain Ezra's a bit confused, because both of them knew what was going on in this place. That young mutant, this diner, is being robbed, or at the very least, she's being held hostage. By what it looked like, there were 4 assailants, but they're off the clock, and this isn't their problem. And if you guys remember, we have seen this young mutant girl before. In the early pages of the early issues of Uncanny X-Men, we had seen her, but she didn't have much relevance at the time. As we hop over to New Orleans. After the Friendship Fest, the mayor kind of wanted to meet up with the X-Men to have a conversation with them and discuss what's next for mutantkind in New Orleans. And if they're being honest with themselves, they're all a little anxious, all a little bit worried. But the mayor, she wants to get straight to it. She has plans for something that she thinks is truly remarkable. Unveiling this, on the table what we see is a giant statue with the X-Men symbol and what appear to be kind of dociles, living quarters, all of that stuff. This is what the mayor is referring to as the Uncanny Village. Turning 4 square blocks that were destroyed in the hurricane into something that nobody's been claiming. To renew it, rejuvenate it, bring it back to life, but also bringing mutantkind kind of into the loop, into society. Now, Jubilee and all the others, they're like, what the hell is this? The mayor, she wants to make this a destination plaza for entertainment, for shopping, for dining. It's Bourbon Street, but with a mutant-friendly theme to it. And obviously, they're all really skeptical of this. Like, it's all in good faith, but this all looks like it's just almost like it's pandering. And if it's not pandering, this could be something that's dangerous. You know, you're essentially giving 4 blocks to mutants in New Orleans. There's a lot of people that are not going to be happy about that. Not only that, you're naming some of these places like Nightcrawler's Tavern and Jubilee's Jump and Jive and all these other things. It's a lot for the mutants to take in. But the mayor, she's doing this in good faith. She wants them to be an active part of the city, an intricate part of the city. As we jump over to Haven House, we have Death Dream, who has all the cats on his lap. Now, the others, they want him to come out with him. The others trying to figure out why the cats in this house are so attracted to him, why they always levitate towards him. And that's because the line between life and death is really thin for cats. They say that cats can see death. And so Death Dream, of course, they're going to be drawn to. This is when Ransom calls Death Dream little brother. Death Dream, hearing this, he panics, he freaks out, he runs upstairs, he goes and looks in the bathroom mirror, and he actually starts to cry. But it's because he actually feels like he's starting to belong somewhere. Like, Ransom calling him little brother actually means a lot to Death Dream. Just the idea that he is somebody's little brother, it fills him with joy, fills him, overwhelms him with happiness. But this is when their newly acquired Sentinel attack dog, he sniffs something outside. Without hesitation, he runs outside, grabs hold of who is there. That somebody is Deadpool. Along with Deadpool is Outlaw. Now, our new mutants, they have no idea who Outlaw is, who Deadpool is. And so Calico, Death Dream, Ransom, Jitter, they all jump into the fight. They think that these guys are hostiles. As Calico charges in, knocking them off of their ground, Death Dream comes running out screaming, "I'm coming holding Big Brother to ransom. But when he sees that the Sentinel pup is lying on the ground, Death Dream gets livid. Deadpool making a joke that this has just turned into a John Wick situation, a situation that he never wants to be in. Like, and we're seeing that Deadpool, he's just out of his element. He's got arrows in his chest, Death Dream is holding Outlaw, like this whole situation is going sideways. And when Deadpool thinks that he's about to turn it up, he's about to get serious, that's when Wolverine and the others show up. Being able to slowly de-escalate the situation, Jubilee tells Death Dream that you gotta put down Outlaw to control your powers. But Death Dream doesn't want to. They hurt the Sentinel dog. And so Jubilee tells Deadpool, like, you need to apologize. Apologize or he's not gonna put Outlaw down, he's not gonna do what we need him to. With Deadpool apologizing and everybody getting inside, this is where Deadpool, he actually explains why he's here. He's here because somebody hired them to keep the X-Men busy, to keep them preoccupied while they held up a diner. And Jubilee knows exactly what this is about. They want to hurt Jubilee. In the days prior to them moving here, Rogue and Jubilee went to look at the deconstruction at Xavier's school. Some creeps had tried to run her off the road, full of wealth and privilege. There was a young girl and her mother, given the mutant sign, the Midnight M. She had messed with these guys a little bit, blew up their car, kind of antagonized a fight. Now those guys have come back. And while the team is more than ready to go handle these guys, Jubilee tells the others, I have to go do this on my own. And Nightcrawler, he agrees, telling the others, like, everybody sees you and they see power. They see Jubilee, they see Nightcrawler. They're not necessarily scared of us. Jubilee needs to go do this on her own and make them scared. So with Gambit using the Eye of Agamotto, he opens up a portal and lets them know that they'll be right here waiting, with Jubilee going inside. These guys are armored up, and they're ready for a fight. Now this guy, he goes on and on and on. He talks about how the car was destroyed. His dad took him out of the wheel. His dad died. He had to give up all of his trust fund just to hire these guys to get payback on Jubilee. But as he goes on and on and on, Jubilee, she grabs a coffee pot, she chucks it at the dudes, kicks this guy in the face, and she uses her mutant powers to essentially blind the dude. When the other guys go to throw on their goggles, those goggles do no good. She blasts them with so much light they can't see either. Within 5 seconds, Jubilee took these guys down. And while she threatens them, in the moment it's a little scary, but she's scared of what she could be capable of. But she knows she's also bluffing. Yuva and her mother, they've been here for 3 hours, held hostage. Can only imagine how terrified they are. But Yuva goes in and hugs Jubilee. She drags the ringleader out of here and tells Gambit to drop him somewhere where he can reflect. Maybe somewhere like the Savage Lands. Jubilee knows that there's a lot of hate in this world. But whatever you are, whenever you can, Jubilee shows us that we can fight back. And that is the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Now, me personally, more and more, I am loving Death Dream. You know, I have always been, and will always be an emo kid at heart. And so obviously I'm gonna enjoy Death Dream more than most other characters. But it's always fun having Deadpool in the comics. You know, I haven't always been the biggest fan of Deadpool, and I've said this for quite a few years now. I'm not even a huge fan of the Deadpool movies. They're enjoyable, but I enjoy comic Deadpool so much more. I don't know, there's just something different about it. The one-liners are better, they're quirkier, they're more well-placed, and it's just the small subtle things, like him calling him Hugh Jackman in this comic. Or, you know, seeing New Mutants and just being like, ugh, God, New Mutants, I hate New Mutants. Because Deadpool's been through it time and time and time again. And it's like, oh, it's a new batch of mutants who don't know who I am, who want to try and come and fight me, dice me up, try and do all this craziness. Like, God bless America, I'm going through this again. But not only do you have this fun stuff, but you also have a really important underlining message with Jubilee. Not only is Jubilee wanting to be seen and taken more serious, but also that there's still so much hate out there. This kid had so much hate in his heart. He spent the last of his trust fund money to hire goons to cause some trouble for Jubilee. Like, that's how much hate this guy is harboring all inside him. And Jubilee is just showing us, when given the opportunity, fight back against it. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. If you want to get caught up on everything that has been going on with this series, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It is going to get you completely caught up on everything that has been going on with the X-Men series ever since the fall of Krakoa. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you're unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.